Please welcome Julia Stiles. Welcome to the show, Julia.
Thank you.
Nice
So
to have
nice
you here.
to be here.
Wonderful to have you here. So let's get started. You've been acting in movies for more than 25 years, so you must have started when you were 5. But this is your first time directing. How long have you been wanting to do this, and what was this transition like, going from front of the camera to back of the camera?
I'd been wanting to direct for a really long time, but I think, trying to find the right story. And 5 years ago, the actress who plays the best friend in this film slid into my DMs on Instagram and was like, I read that you wanted to direct, and what about this book? And she sent me Wish You Were Here by Renee Carlino, and I loved it. I had like a visceral reaction to it. I laughed, I cried, I laughed through my tears, and I could so see it as a movie, and that was the thing that pushed me to go like, okay, now's the time, this is the right story.
So if I DM Francis Ford Coppola,
That's the takeaway.
my book,
You never know, you never know.
Well, Julia,
Please don't encourage me.
the film follows a young woman who gets swept up in 2 versions of a love story. I'm sure starring in some of the most beloved rom-coms has helped you, prepared you for this, but you said that being a mom turned out to be the best training you could have had. How so?
100%. Because when you're a mom, you have to operate well with no sleep. You have to be a good multitasker.
Yep.
You have to think 10 steps ahead, but also be present. You have to guide people and be sensitive to their feelings, but also a leader and manage a budget and time and all the things that are exactly the skills that you need to be a director. And I didn't realize that until I actually got into pre-production. And you're managing chaos. I mean, that's what raising a family is, right?
Sure absolutely. But you, in your 25 years, as Anna mentioned, have worked with a lot of directors. Some amazing, great directors, and also some probably difficult directors. Did that kind of color how you approached this role?
I mean,
meaning as a director.
I looked, you know, I have all the same thing that all the wonderful directors that I've worked with had was a sense of calm, and I tried to take that on set with me. With the technical stuff, I felt like, yeah, I've been on film sets for 25 years, so I've heard all the conversations about where to point a camera. But then, surprisingly, I think I did all the things to the actors that I swore I would never do to actors. Like, you have all these lofty ideas of going on set and being like, tell me about your inner world, and we're gonna take our time, we're gonna feel it out. And instead, when push comes to shove, it's just like, happier, do it again, faster, sadder. No, faster, just do it faster.
you eventually
Now
get
you
to
sound
that.
like a mom.
Well, time is money.
That's right.
Exactly.
Well, you've done it all, obviously, movies, TV, theater, even a Cyndi Lauper music video back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Bet you guys didn't know
How
that.
did I miss that?
That's right, there, chick. The View finds it all.
We do find them.
We find them. But we understand there's one particular onstage moment you would like a do-over.
Oh my goodness.
What is that?
So long story short, back when the Bourne Ultimatum came out, I was Prince, the artist Prince,
Prince.
He was at the premiere, and we got summoned over to talk to him, which was amazing, and that would have been enough. But he invited the cast to his show at the O2 Arena that he was doing a residency at, and so we all went, and we had like front row seats. Wow. Also, that would have been enough. But he did this thing, I guess, every night where he would call the ladies up on stage and have them come dance with him. And
Yeah, starting to get nervous.
so he did that, and I remember being scared, and my sister was there with me, and a friend was there with me, and they were like, now's our chance, and they pushed me up on stage. And that would have been enough, just dancing on stage with Prince, with a group of people, but then all of a sudden I feel his guitar like nudging me, he gets behind me and he whispers in my ear, sing. And he pushed me in front of the microphone.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Coaxed me in front of the microphone. So it was Play That Funky Music, White Boy.
By Wild Cherry.
Yes, but you know the chorus to the song, but do you know the opening lyrics?
Yes. That was the first. That was the first
No,
album.
see? So
what
I'm
are
like, well, this is my chance. This is my chance. Yes.
That's the first album I ever bought.
But it's like 50,000 people, blinding lights. I can't hear myself because I don't have one of those monitor thingies in. So I was just like, well, go. I said to him, I was like, no, I can't. And he goes, too late. And so I just go, okay, you got to belt it out. And I started singing, and I could see the bass player down in the pit going like. I mean, I'd like to think that he was just nodding his head to the beat, but I think it was terrible. And eventually, like the chorus kicked in, and I got it together. But it still was probably awful.
It's when you get
I was
louder
wearing
in
a
the
terrible
chorus.
outfit.
No, but
Thank
you've got
God
this
it's
great
not.
story.
I pinched myself. It was a long time ago, and it was obviously a really wonderful memory.
Amazing.
But yeah, I'm still.
I'm sure the bass player
I know
hasn't
all the
forgotten
lyrics
it
now.
either.
Well, and,
I know all the
and we
lyrics
obviously know you can dance from Save the Last Dance,
Yeah.
but maybe singing isn't your thing.
Singing is not my.
You were in so many movies that just shaped my childhood. Your breakout role as Kat Stratford in 10 Things I Hate About You, just
Yeah, I love
iconic.
that.
I have seen that movie more times than I can count, and it ages even better. But I understand the poem scene where you tear up and you start crying was actually not intended. Like you hadn't planned to cry, but then you had to reshoot it again.
We didn't. We re-recorded the dialogue, so I didn't plan on crying. That was totally natural emotion that just came out because it was take two, and we were at the end of this amazing experience that I loved so much, and I was just overwhelmed with emotions. You know, it was beautiful, but then what I didn't realize is this is my first, big studio movie. Actors have to go in and clean up the sound in a recording studio afterwards if something got messed up. So there was a dolly track that was squeaky, and it squeaked over some of the lines. So I had to go in and like recreate the sound of me crying and getting choked up. This little thing right here. It's part of the job.
Yeah.
And you nailed it because I still cry at that scene.
But speaking of performances, people still talk about your infamous audition scene in Save the Last Dance.
yeah.
And you reprised that on SNL last season. We have a clip.
So does she get into Juilliard?
Yes! Sarah did get into Juilliard.
How?
Well, you didn't see the end of the dance.
Hit it!
Is it true that you haven't taken a dance lesson since you wrapped the film?
Yeah, I mean, I dance all the time in my living room, and yeah, I love dancing. I'm a little self-conscious after the movie, just because if I would love to, but if I go into a dance class, I feel like people would be judging me.
Expectations high, yeah.
Go ahead.
I do my own private dance parties at home.
It's so nice to see you. Really lovely to see you.
Yeah.
Our thanks to Julia Stiles. Her new film, Wish You Were Here, is in theaters now.